Hello again, everybody. This is Computer Science for Everyone, and this is part two of iteration. In previous video, in previous course, we discussed about different type of the loop that we can have. One of them was counter control loop. But this is what we're going to talk about it today is a conditional, those loops that they keep repeating based on a condition. As long as condition satisfies, is true, so we continue to repeat and repeat and repeat. This looks really close to many kind of examples that you have in your life. For example, you're cooking a food and you're stirring and tasting and checking, and when it's good, you stop to do that. Or for example, when you clean the room, when everything looks nice, you stop to do that. So it's not all the time, for example, you repeat based on a fixed number of count, or you count it like 5 times or 6 times. Also, there are cases that you repeat based on a condition, and that's what we're going to talk about it now. So let's start to do decoding. So remember, everyone, that in the previous code that we wrote together, we started to get like 5 times a number from user and then add all together and put in a total and then print it, right? That was the 5 times. But what if we want to extend our code and then do something better? We want to say that, okay, it's not only 5 times. I want to just continue as long as you want it. That means every time you key in a number, I'm going to ask you, are you any more numbers? Yes or no? If you say yes, I go and get you another numbers and I add the total. If you say no, I stop and I'll just finish the code and I'll show the total. So this is a little bit more user friendly, right? Especially in cases that we do not know how many times you want to do that. So let's go through this and do this coding together. Put my phone here. So look at the code that I wrote here. The first line, I just created the total, which is the total variable. I assigned 0 to the total. And then I created another variable answer, which is going to help us to keep asking from user. Its initial value is yes. Now in the line number 3, I'm using while. Remember, we use for that counter loop, which was like for count in range 5. Here we use a different approach. We use a condition. Look at this condition. It says that if answer is equal to yes, that's what we do here. So as long as it's yes, as long as this is true, it means answer is yes. So we want to repeat this lines. Okay, we want to repeat this few lines of the code. So this is going to be repeated forever as long as answer is yes. So this is the trick. So while condition is true, we repeat. Again, we have indentation, remember? The reason that you see this became like that, because I just zoom in a little bit to show you more of the coding area. So let me first show the code and then we talk about the execution. So in this line, I'm getting a value, type a number in a number, type in a number. So I'll keep it in a number variable. I add every total and save it in itself, assign it to itself. We discuss about this accumulatively collecting the values. And then I'm asking another question at the bottom, at the end, the last line of the while loop. So you see the while is start and end here. So in this line, I'm asking this. If and are more numbers? Yes or no? Any more numbers? Yes or no? So if you say yes, when I back to the while, again, I check and I see the answer is yes, and yes is true, so I repeat. But if you write no, or technically anything else, when I back to the while first condition, the while condition is not true anymore. So while loop will stop. And then we'll go to the line number 7. And then you would print total is, the total variable. So this is how actually conditional loop works in reality. There is a condition, while a condition, as long as condition is true, it's gonna work. So now let's run the code. So I'm gonna run it and then let's see what's gonna happen. So type in a number. So for example, I'm gonna write 12. Are any more numbers? I'm gonna say yes. So again, you see back again, type in a number. I'm gonna say 20. Any more numbers? Yes. I'm gonna put another number, 30. Any more number? I want to say no. When I say no, code will stop and I will go and total is 45. So this is called conditional loop or condition controlled loop, which is running and controlling based on the condition. As long as condition is true, these 3 lines will get the execution. Does it make sense? I can hear it. So, but anyway, you may ask me a question. But try to think about it. Try to look at the structure. Try to differentiate between this and the for loop. The for loop was just based on how many times. For count in range 5, just 5 times, finish it and then go out. Basically, you can use while and create counter control loop with while as well. Maybe I leave it as an exercise for you guys. So here we can see the while and 3 lines and then the finish. So this is called condition control loop. Now let me do a little bit of adjustment to show you that there are cases sometimes when you're having condition loop that they never ever going to get the chance to execute. So that's a really interesting concept. So let me try and show it to you guys. So what if even before I start the coding, remember, look at here, I'll come and I copy this one and I make it like this. I will just paste it here. So look at what change I made. I just came and I did a little change in my code. Rather than giving initial value yes to my answer, before I run the code, before I go to the loop, I ask any more numbers. So what if from the very beginning I say no? The total is 0. So this is a kind of scenario that from the very beginning, the condition is false and the code never ever going to get the chance to be executed. The while loop body, this is the while body or while clause or scope of the while. So they're never ever going to get any chance to get executed within the code because the answer is no from the very beginning. And the last example that I want to show you guys, I want to show you something really scary. I'm not going to run it because if I run it, bad thing will happen, or we'll try it. You know what? If you just don't really pay attention to the way that you're writing the code, there's a chance that you create infinite loop, a loop that never ever get to the end, and that will repeat it and repeat it. But believe me, there are some very interesting applications of such loops, like entire operating system. You turn on the computers, there is an infinite loop till you shut down the computer. But let me show you guys an example of it. Let's say we're going to write count equal by 1, and I write down while count is not 10. So in next video, next course, we're going to talk about Boolean logics and nuts and many things that are about logical operators. So while count is not 10, as long as it's not 10, so print count. And just simply I'm going to write count plus equal by 1. You remember this is same as this one, but anyway, let me write it this. So let's see what's going to happen. When I run this one, perfect. You're going to get 1, then 2, then the 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9. Reach the 10 while will stop. But what if I'll just come and I make this 2? You know what's going to happen? Because 1 is odd numbers. 1 plus 2 will be 3. 3 will be 5, 7, 9, 11. So never ever you will get the 10. There's no any chance that you get 10. So let's run it. I don't know what's going to happen. Let's run it. You see, it's infinite loop. You see, it's running. Let me stop it. Stop. Don't do that. Let me make it 1 again and run the code. So if you do such a things in your computers, probably you're gonna lose a lot of memory and computer get to slow down because it's keep happening. It's going forever, printing. So that is called infinite loop. So you have to be very careful, in particular about a condition that you put for your loop. Otherwise, boom, and your code will be executed till the last day of the universe, as long as you have power and electricity. So this was part 2 of loop iteration. Try to practice all these kind of codes, and that's all. In next part, we're going to talk about Boolean logic and logical operators and expression, and that will be very, very fun. Trust me. See you soon. Have fun.